Which one is that? This is police, grant, engagement.
Made over there.
Test, 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 test.
You're not?
Oh, we want a piece of
Okay. Well, that is pretty tight. Yeah. Okay, well, we may just leave it.
no, this is.
It's a working. It's her thing.
We're live?
Supposedly they fixed it, so. Super duper happy about that.
Isaac's wife didn't get to see my waves.
Iced tea. It was too sweet. No, we can't. Oh, we wish. Okay, AC.
Look, you gotta put it up there. You gotta do the camera like this.
Oh,
It's the little heart.
oh no. Well.
Can you use that?
What's up, man?
Mayor,
As we need, you need to use that.
Mayor,
Is my sign still up there? Is your sign?
Robin Collins.
Is your?
No, this
I
is
see
the
it.
city.
Remind them, the new ones to turn on their mics. Remind the old ones too to turn on their mics.
Did you notice at the bottom of these has been, because you couldn't turn them off.
She did that.
Yeah,
Well, they
don't be touching the bottom of that thing.
Stand your ground. Stand.
I gave it back, I didn't know my price back.
Here, I got one.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want. Here's mine for my, I know. I hate those. We have to charge a city fee of $3.
Bet it is. Since I'm out of pen. Hey, when did that get?
And then this one is partially natural energy drink.
Oh, okay.
Like they have ours. So use every one of each. Every one of each.
You got two? Let's look.
ICS, international commercial.
And,
That's actually international.
and be sure you turn your camera
No.
on.
That's a
Sure.
compliment.
That is like.
Okay.
It's a real
Wait,
estate thing.
what happened?
It's a Winston City.
Okay.
And all of, like,
Yeah.
businesses like, you know, about like Jimmy John. I went to a mixer over there with all the Home Depot.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know people, but-
Test, 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 test.
Huh? Said what?
No kidding. No kidding.
Oh. Just said itty bitty cuts all the what? Do what now? Thank you.
I think it was there.
Thank you.
Dakota, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead and mute your mic, please.
I don't know. He is.
He's the representative from up ahead, so if y'all have any questions about 11B, he's on the line.
11, D is in boy or D is?
D is a dog.
D is in dog. Oh, up ahead, okay. And you turned the podium mic on?
I can't put it.
Is it green? Yeah, go ahead and green it.
Check, check, check.
Yeah.
For tonight. She had to go get David and take him somewhere.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I
it's working.
knew, I knew you were gonna say that. I wouldn't have bet money on that one. I said, you're leaving me up there with all the dudes, huh?
So Justin had a responsibility up here at the airfield soon.
If I empty my water container and I set it right here, you're supposed to throw it away behind you.
That's what they, the thing was down and it was.
That was Justin's job?
Yeah.
He has all the verge on that shit.
He had to go to the bathroom every 45 minutes.
Here, enjoy this.
I can do that.
Buddy, breathe through your nose.
Literally.
I'm filling him in on his responsibility.
Yeah. Think you- I will.
Seeing we have a quorum tonight, I will call to order the City of Kemah City Council and Kemah Public Facilities Corporation regular meeting, May 21, 2025 at 6 p.m. The first thing on the agenda is the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. The next thing on the agenda is a moment of silence. And the next thing on the city council agenda is invitation to address council. I believe that Shalia Thorne has signed up to speak.
Good evening, Shelia Thorne, South Kemah. I would like to just publicly congratulate Mayor Collins, Councilman Oliver, and Councilman Wallace on their successful campaigns. And I'm confident that you will uphold and serve not only the voters that voted for you, but the voters that did not. And I wish you well. That's all.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is a couple of proclamations. One is for EMS Week and one is for Public Works. Is Robert living? Oh, will you come up? I didn't see you back there. It's so quiet. Oh, you got it on.
Man, there better not be an emergency, it's out there.
Have one here.
This proclamation is recognition of National EMS Week, which is May 18th through 24th. Proclamation recognizing National EMS Week. Whereas emergency medical services are a vital public service, providing life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas members of emergency medical services team, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas EMS professionals serve as the front line of the healthcare system, responding swiftly and skillfully to emergency calls and providing critical care in times of crisis. And whereas the 2025 theme, Honoring Our Past, Forging Our Future, reminds us to reflect on the longstanding commitment of the EMS professionals who have served our communities with honor and to support the continued advancement and strength of this essential service. And whereas the city of Kemah recognizes and appreciates the contributions of our EMS providers who serve with dedication, courage, and compassion. Now therefore, I, Robin Collins, Mayor of the City of Kemah, Texas, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as National Emergency Medical Services Week in Kemah, and we encourage all citizens to express their gratitude to our local EMS personnel, past and present, for their unwavering commitment to the health and safety of our community. Thank you.
Raymond.
Guys, before you leave, if you want a cupcake, there's plenty. You don't need to leave them here.
Video thing.
5B is recognition of National Public Works Week, which is also May 18th through the 25th. Oh, Richard. Oh, yeah, all of you. Proclamation recognizing National Public Works Week. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and service that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Kemah. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Kemah to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Be it now resolved, I, Mayor Robin Collins, do hereby designate the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. In witness whereof, I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Kemah to be affixed this 21st day of May 2025. Thank you guys for all Sorry. So that each one of you has a certificate. Are you taking those? No, we should have one. That's yours.
even started yet.
Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is mayor's comments and announcements. I want to welcome, well, good evening to everyone. Thank you for coming. And first and foremost, I want to extend a heartfelt welcome to our new city council members. We're happy to have you on the team and looking forward to the great things we'll accomplish together. Public service is a calling, and I'm grateful to each of you for stepping up and serving the city of Kemah. Tonight, we also have had the privilege of recognizing two vital teams in our city, our dedicated Public Works Department and our outstanding volunteer fire department and EMS personnel. They've, not everybody's left, but we just want to thank them again. As a reminder, City Hall will be closed this coming Monday in observance of Memorial Day. Please note that there will be no trash or recycling on that scheduled holiday. Services will resume on your next regular scheduled day. But be sure to take a moment Monday and remember and honor those who have given their lives in service to our country. 4th of July, planning is well underway for our annual 4th of July parade. It's always very crazy and busy in Kemah on the 4th of July. And this year promises to be especially meaningful as we incorporate the celebration of Kemah's 60th anniversary as a city into the theme of the parade. We'll share more details at our next meeting, but we encourage everyone to start thinking about how they'd like to participate in this special community event. Hurricane season. As we approach the start of hurricane season on June 1st, and I think that's only about 10 or 11 days away, I just want to remind everybody, businesses and residents, to review their emergency plans, stock their disaster supply kits, and sign up for local alerts. And there's a hurricane preparedness and safety fair happening on Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 1, and it's in League City at the Civic Center. That's on Walker Street, 400 Walker Street. It's an excellent opportunity to learn about what all you need to do to prepare for a hurricane, like tips. There's also a lot of family-friendly activities. They'll have things for kids to do and a lot of vendor booths. But we have some flyers here. I think Patty put some of them up in the front foyer for us. Next is City Council members' comments. And Councilman Dustin Oliver, would you like to go first?
Sure. Welcome, everybody. Just excited to get started. Thank you for everybody for coming out. And Public Works, thank you for all you do. The fire guys have already left, but huge shout out to the Kemah Volunteer Fire Department, Galveston EMS, and the rest of staff that helped make it all happen. You don't get enough kudos. So thank you all for the support. I'm ready to get started.
Councilman Meisinger.
All right, well, thanks everybody for coming out. It's nice to see so many people here to greet the newly elected council members and our newly re-elected mayor. Congratulations to you all. The group of people that you sit up here with will always share a bond through what we go through. Just like we will share that bond with Darren and with Justin. It was nice to see him tonight. But excited for you both. This is an experience unlike anything else, and it's something you'll always remember, and you'll always remember the people you did it with. So welcome, and I'm happy to be sitting up here with you. And I'm done.
Councilman Wallace.
It was hard to say that, wasn't it?
Well, I have to get used to this.
Well, I echo Dustin's comments on the city services. We appreciate you guys a lot. I know you don't always hear it, but we do appreciate it, and EMS as well. When I served in the local school district, it was always my motto that I wanted to serve for all the children of the school district, not just a special few. And I kind of bring that with me for this position as well. I want to serve all the residents of Kemah and the business owners of Kemah, not just a select few. So it's an honor to be able to serve with you folks, and I really look forward to the opportunity.
Councilman Saldana.
Well, you guys are. So I'll tell you, I've said this before. Sorry. Growing up, my father was a public works guy for Pearland, and that's what we did. I mean, that's what he did. So I have a very deep respect for what you guys do. And I always try my best to do the best for you guys, you know. We don't always get what you want. We don't all get that, but I always do my best, and I'm really happy y'all are here, and y'all are really underappreciated, so thank you. Same with EMS, man, family members that are EMS, and it's a hard job. It's a very difficult job. It takes a special person to do that, you know, but we need them, caregivers. Welcome, guys, honestly. I would say Darren and Justin were very thoughtful and thorough in their voting. I had a lot of respect for them for that. I'm very confident you guys will do the same thing. It's difficult up here. And sometimes you have to vote on things that aren't easy. And that's probably my biggest advice to you guys is that sometimes you're going to make a decision and make half the people in town mad, but it's the right decision. You know, just always do what you think is right. As long as you stay with that, I'm confident. So welcome. Can't wait to work with you guys.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda is the city administrator's report, and we will turn it over to Cesar Garcia. And Cesar, the MMD position, we have one of the representatives here. They want to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, I'll start with what you mentioned already, which was the hurricane preparedness event. To my knowledge, it's our first time partnering with the county. It's best to unite forces to make sure that we provide those services together. So we're excited to be partnering with Friendswood, League City, Dickinson, and Webster, as well as the county, to put this event on to make sure that we're ready for any storms that may come our way. As far as the position for the board, will someone here to speak, please?
Is it Keely Chapman? Keely applied for the new MMD 1 board position as Lee has already resigned.
When I swore in tonight, it was official.
Okay, all right. So we need a replacement on that board. Do you know if there would, Patty, did y'all put a time, a date, a limit of like an amount of time they can sign up for that, or has that expired or not? Okay. Okay.
How long has it been?
Did we have any other applicants?
I think one so far.
Just one?
Yeah.
How long has it been? We typically do 30 days for things like that.
Last week, I believe.
Has it been 30 days?
No, it's not
Oh.
30 days, it's been
It's only been
It's
a
a
week,
couple of weeks,
last week.
maybe a week.
last week, just a week. Do you have anything to say about the position, or?
Well, it's, Keely showed interest in it, and I supported her because she is a resident of Kima Crossing, which MMD1 is Kima Crossing. I know the other 4 members of the board are not associated with Kima Crossing. And I find it really important to have representation from our neighborhood, from Kima Crossing specifically. Since we didn't have any other applicants, and it's an open-ended application, I would like to go ahead and move forward with recommending Ms. Chapman. And more especially, the next meeting is next Tuesday, and I feel like we need representation for every meeting, especially the next one, since I'm not going to be there.
Are you willing to put a motion on the
But
table?
is there an action item for that?
Oh, that's right. We can't.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
It's not an action item.
It's not an action
Oh,
item.
oh,
I'm
this
sorry.
is
It was
just
in
a-
the city administrator's report. My apologies.
But if you want to request it, you put on the next agenda.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's.
Sure.
So we could advise staff to put that on the next agenda, and that would give it,
My bad.
what, about 3 weeks
weeks.
then? So maybe put a time limit on it before the next meeting to close the application process.
Do you go to those meetings?
I do attend remotely. I went one time in person, the other times were remote.
So you'll attend the next one remote?
I plan on attending remote.
Okay, so I mean, chemo will be somewhat represented, right? So it's not totally,
Sure.
totally no drive.
Well represented. Huh?
I will tell you that this will be probably my last time listening through virtual because the sound's pretty bad. So it's better to go in person, and the meetings are very, very quick.
Yeah, they are.
They go quickly?
They do.
Okay.
They're quick.
And it's in Houston. You
But yeah,
drive
they're downtown.
45 minutes to be there for
Yeah.
about maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Exactly. Takes you longer to park than the meeting does.
And correct.
Maybe suggest they move it up to Gima, where
Well, we've
Well,
tried
then-
that.
Then you have the attorneys are all traveling here and they
Yeah.
charge by the hour.
Billable hours.
Yeah. So, Caesar, was there anything else you had in your report?
Everything else would be part of the agenda, Mayor.
Okay. Well, Keely, thanks for coming out tonight. I guess we'll address it at the next meeting. The next agenda item would be reports from staff. 9A is City Secretary's project update. Do you have anything you want to go over?
Actually, it's just me, the department one. I just launched the newly elected officials portal for onboarding. So the new people, you may have gotten an email to go ahead and log in and take a look at that. It's pretty neat. You have to check it out. But
Okay.
brand new onboarding. We're still working on Laserfish, getting everything put in there for record retention purposes. It's moving along. We have one more thing left to launch Peak Agenda. One tiny little thing on the template and it'll be
Okay.
completely done. So, but if y'all have any questions about the other stuff, just let me know and I can answer that for you guys.
Okay, next is the city administrator's department monthly staff report. I don't assume you wanted, it's okay. Building department, report of any kind? Okay,
I just, Mayor, if I can, just to note that this entire section of reports is something that we started doing to make sure that we're in line with the transparency that we want to show. So these are evolving reports that we'll keep building on month after month. So they may not look like each other until we get them fine tuned. For example, we've been working with PD to get their stats up. So they'll probably be at the next one or the meeting following as soon as we get that whole thing sorted out. But we want to make sure that everybody had a chance to see what we were doing by department and what each department's key performance indicators would be month to month. So you would have a chance to look at it every single month and not have to wait for information.
and council could, maybe we could, if there's not a report to be given, maybe they can study it in the book and then just ask questions if they want
Absolutely.
to in this particular section.
Yes.
Chief Garabay, do you have anything that you want to give as an update?
The DARE camp, we call it Cops and Kids Camp, is going to be May 28th, Wednesday, over at Stewart Elementary. Super excited to do this with 24 students that signed up. We're going to have a K-9 there from Precinct 8. We're going to have SWAT team from Lead City. And the best part of it all, a buddy of mine from DPS will be landing their helicopter there at the school for the kids to enjoy and see. That is a designated landing zone, so that shouldn't be a problem. That's what we normally land our helicopter. But we have several people that have donated, Walmart that has helped out, and people that are purchasing T-shirts. I think the PTO there is helping us out. So anyway, we just want to let you know if you hear a helicopter that morning around 9:15 in the morning, that's going to be DPS landing out there for the kids at the landing zone.
I think they'll be excited about that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I didn't mean to look over Patty and Bernadette. Do y'all, either one of you have a report?
Mine should be included in that.
It's all included in here. I just, if they had any questions or anything. Okay. Okay.
I would just like to echo that if anybody is not signed up for the City of Kima's LinkedIn page or the Facebook page, please do so. They are gaining popularity, but we want to make sure that everybody is tied into those accounts.
Okay. Yes.
We've also started a Discover Kima LinkedIn page, and right now I think it has like 2 followers. So if you guys would go in there
I
and
gotta go
jump,
look that one up.
jump on as well, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. Next is, number 10 is the consent agenda. And this is 10A to approve minutes of 5/7/25, 10B to approve minutes of the meeting on 5/13/25, 10C, consideration and possible action to approve the replat for Lawrence 96 Reserve, and 10D, consideration and possible action to approve resolution 2025-24, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Kima, Texas, supporting a no-wait zone in and around the Kima Clear Lake area on June 20th, 25 during the Texas Outlaw Challenge. And this no-wait zone is actually from 8 a.m. to noon. Do I hear a motion?
moved.
I have I have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana and a second by Councilman Lee Wallace to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Number 11, 11A, consideration and possible action to accept a nomination and approve a mayor pro tem. And I wanted to read this and I read it the other day and I just think it would be good to refresh what the duties are. In a Texas Type A general law municipality, the nomination and election of a mayor pro tempore are governed by the Texas Local Government Code, specifically Section 22.037. This section mandates that at the first meeting of each new governing body, or as soon as practical thereafter, the governing body must elect an alderman, in our case a councilman, to serve as president pro tem, mayor pro tem, for a term of 1 year. The mayor pro tem assumes the mayor's duties in the event of the mayor's failure, inability, or refusal to act. So we can open it up for discussion.
I'd like to make a nomination. I'd like to nominate Martini.
Oh, she's first dog.
If she's not available, I'd like to nominate KPD, Canine Officer Tango. And if
He
he's not
won't be on
available,
board until June, though.
and if he's not available, I'd like to nominate Doug Meisinger.
My second.
Wow, I get after the dogs. Dang.
Well, we have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana, and I believe we had a second by Councilman Oliver. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, welcome
Well,
to
thank you
Mayor
very much.
Pro Tem.
This will be my
Doug.
second time to do it, and I don't think I'll have to do the other stuff quite as much as I did the last time, so.
I try not to take on those duties that I cannot attend. Isaac has filled in for me 2 or 3 times, I
It's a
think.
handful, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for taking it on, though. I appreciate it. By the way, motion carried unanimous. 11B, presentation and consideration of approval of the City of Kima's 60th anniversary logo. We did a few explorations. The one that we came up with is in your packet. And we're going to try to put that on a lot of things, 4th of July parade signage and things like that throughout the year for the city.
I like it.
I did too.
Did you come up with that?
No, I did not actually. I had
a
some
team effort.
help.
Team effort.
Team effort.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that
it was
is cool.
it was collaborative. That's right. We had several going on and we put our comments in.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the City of Kima 60th anniversary logo.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Dustin Oliver. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries
Did
unanimously.
y'all out there see it? Did you
Oh,
see it? Yeah, there it is. I think it's
no,
great.
I know. I like
I
it.
love it.
11C, discussion of possible action regarding the delivery and setup of the City of Kima Christmas tree and other decorations and lights that go with that. I think the proposal is similar to what we had last year, and that's in your packet as well.
When did they deliver them?
We picked a date early in November, I think. I do not know the exact date, but in an email we have discussed, and it's early November, so that it's up for November, December, and partially in January.
Install date November 1 through
Oh,
26.
Okay, it is on here then.
Oh, yeah.
Where's this coming out of? Is this coming out of hot?
The intent is for it to come out of hot, sir.
And this is essentially the exact tree and everything that we had last year.
Exactly, they've stored it all year.
They would fix any lights that would have been out. So anything that would have been missing or anything else.
Because I remember there was discussion about if we wanted to add more to it in coming years.
We did not go down that path this year, but we did discuss that, making it one rung taller every year. It was pretty magnificent last
Oh,
year.
it is. Yeah, it was-
Another height would be great, but we just didn't do that. I want some lights down 6th Street eventually, so it looks like, you're entering the city. I think we have to work on some electrical at the poles before we could do that, so we just.
I think we should decorate the community center.
Yeah,
You can see it coming over there.
I agree.
So,
Those were the next 2 or 3 things in line.
We should at least get a Santa Claus up there that like automatically waves.
Mhm.
You want to do it?
In a blue suit,
I mean, the automated one.
yeah.
if the appetite is for us to start looking at that now, then we'll work together to get that going. Not necessarily the Santa Claus, but all the things that you guys have mentioned.
It'd be nice to see what it is. But not any commitment otherwise.
Sure.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
There, on the note, it says while there are lights on the decor, there is no power to light these. Is that a problem now, or we're exploring alternative options for 2025?
Public Works was going to work on some of the poles up and down Sixth Street. We had enough electrical last year to light what we
Right.
needed. So it'll be replicated like it was last year until we can get all that electrical on Sixth Street fixed. And then we can light it more down
Right.
Sixth
Correct.
Street.
And I assume these folks would do that for us as well.
Mhm.
Good.
I'll make a motion to approve the delivery and setup of the City of Kima Christmas tree.
My second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 11C also carries unanimously. 11D, consideration and possible action to approve the contract with Up Ahead LLC for citizen text alert and engagement services. I believe we have a representative from this company online, and I think Caesar can also talk to
Absolutely.
this if you have any questions.
We do have someone online who can answer any specific questions, but what this program allows us to do is allows us to be responsive to residents 24 hours a day. So it is a text program where folks can, one, sign up to get news alerts from us, but also where residents can just simply text in, hey, there's a pothole. They can give you the location where it is and even upload a picture of where it is. There's a sign down. There's a light that's out. It allows us to be able to be more responsive to folks immediately. What ends up happening is that text then gets converted into an email address or email that we all would have access to that we can then deploy to go ahead and get that fixed. So if it's a pothole, then Public Works can go address where it is by judging the picture location. They'll know if they've seen it before. And it would also allow them to be able to tie down what supplies they would need to get that specific repair done. So it's a way of quantifying things for us. The biggest perspective is to make sure that we have some type of component to get things out to folks and for folks to be able to be responsive. I beta tested it with a few of you guys already as to how it pretty much works. The idea is that it would allow us to be more responsive to our residents for a relatively low lift. And Mr. Dakota is online should you have any specific questions about the software itself.
I've circled a couple of questions. It says 50,000 text messages per year. We don't know exactly how many residents, but is that us sending them and them sending them back, total cumulative 50,000?
So the understanding that would be 50,000 total,
Okay.
meaning it would be how many texts that would be allowed.
Okay, and then if you go over that, they charge you X amount every 10,000 overages?
Correct.
And is this,
But it's pretty nominal, really.
yeah, it is. And this is, so it's a 1-year contract, but you can get out of it 60
You
days.
get 10,000 additional messages if you need to.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure that it would continue at that. And this is an expenditure from general fund and hot funds?
The idea was to take it half out of hot and half out of the general expenditure. One of the things we've talked about doing was in the future having this as a widget that we could let folks know what was going on in town. So if folks were to come visit or anything else like that, that we'd be able to reach out to them and they would text in a number and have a reply be, hey, here's the things that are going on. Like, hey, there's, half off at the greatest steakhouse that we have here in Kima tonight only. Hey,
I gotta go.
I'm sorry?
I better go then. They're gonna be busy.
Or, you know, hey, the boardwalk's having Wine Fest this weekend, whatever it may be. Or, hey, T-Bone Tom's is having such and such performer. We want to make sure that we could possibly look at that possibility of adding that widget, but it already be covered through HOT.
And that's what we cover through HOT, correct?
Yes.
This is like.
Correct.
Potholes and stuff like that. I don't see that.
No, sir.
Now, does the end user have the option of saying, I want to just do things for, I live here and I just wanted to get the, or people can opt in just for the marketing and promotion type thing?
The beauty of it is once you text the number, you get to say what it is. So there's certain prompts that allow you to do that. So you opt in by what your text response is. And it is QR code activated, so we would have them
That was my
available.
question, if we could slap QR codes in place.
QR codes can go on any city building, signage, city parking lot. I mean, we could plaster it everywhere, even on our brand new city police cars. And public work shirts and you name it, and we could actually have it so folks could have that out. So whether it's a newsletter, social media, if somebody could just scan the QR code and it'll just start texting immediately.
Bottom of a traffic ticket.
Oh, man.
This is the one that you showed us.
Yes, sir.
I was impressed.
Yes, sir.
So it'll be just a QR code, or will there be an app?
Well, the QR code would be the method to go, because then from the QR code, we convert it straight to text. So it allows us to use it through text. So not quite an app yet. We didn't go that far. We wanted to start with this process. I'm sure Dakota is listening, and if there's ever an option to have an app, then I'm sure they'd be more than happy to explore that idea. We have discussed the idea of having a city app. We're just not ready yet.
And we'll send that out to the public how?
The idea would be to have it sent out through all of our social media, through any print material that goes out, but also on any city property that we have as well. So at the visitor center and just about anywhere.
And they actually have to themselves sign up, because I gotta be honest with you, I get text messages from stuff I've never signed up for in my entire
Right.
life, and I'm just inundated with this stuff. So is it an easy opt-out? And
It is an easy opt-out.
And they have to actually themselves sign
Yes.
up.
So this actually works a little bit different than what you're thinking. This is actually it's kind of in reverse of that. It's more like a chat bot where they would connect with us, right? So you go and you scan in the QR code, and then it sends you a text and basically asks, kind of says, hey, thank you for contacting us. What do you need to, what would you like to know about? And then you could put, for example, you could say, or it'll ask you, what kind of problem are you reporting? And you'd say a pothole, and then it uses AI to take you to where it'll ask you, what's the closest location, what's the closest address to your pothole, and you type in the address, and then it'll say, well, thank you, give you an opportunity to upload a picture, and then basically it'll say, thank you for reporting this. We'll take care of it as soon as possible, and then it routes it to Public Works and basically says, hey, this person routed. So it's not something where you're signing up to get emails all the time or text messages all the time. This is more of the resident, the user reaches out to us.
So they initiate.
They initiate it, and basically we have a database of answers that gives them information. So it's kind of like having a 24/7 customer service person that can take that information from them and then route it to the right direction. So, and they don't have to download an app. They don't have to do anything other than use that QR code to put in the information. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm just curious if once let's say they instigate this on a pothole,
Mm-hmm.
what is the avenue that we all of a sudden start texting them about deals?
We don't.
Here,
We don't. So it's kind of a,
We don't text them.
Right.
They would have to initiate that. Like, hey,
Oh,
here's
they
what's
just
going
ask
on.
Right.
What's
What's going on?
it's a two-way communication, but it's completely initiated by the person that is sending it to us.
I bought a watch online like 4 years ago, and I get 5 text messages a week from those people.
Yeah,
I
no,
do not do stuff.
no, not like that. We wouldn't do that to our residents.
All right, cool.
Any other questions or comments?
Is there a price break if you pay it a year at a time?
This is a significant price break. I will not share my tactics that we had to strong arm Mr. Dakota with, but this is probably the best pricing we're going to
He's
get.
smiling.
I have a few tactics myself.
Okay, please, by all means.
He's on the phone. You're gonna discount it if we pay it all year in advance? We'll vote on it.
I would do that for them.
Mr. Dakota,
He's on the phone.
I'm not sure if you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I'm here.
One of our council folks,
You pay a unit. Okay.
yes. The question is, if we pay a year in advance, can the price be discounted more than the current price?
I think they'll give you like $100 off.
Look at that. Thank you.
Great
It's
job.
$100 of taxpayer money, we just said.
Bargain
Love it.
hunter right there.
I love
I
it.
mean, I do it for myself.
I love it.
Thank
Any more
That's
questions or
almost a
comments?
you.
I think I have a comment. If we approve this and do it, are we going to have an internal kind of process on how fast we route and respond to these text messages?
Certainly. No different than our internal policy of returning emails within 24 hours. This will go into, these responses become a email. So we'll be able to keep that facet of doing so. So for us, it's even, we have public works staff that is on call during the weekends. So they'll be able to take care of a sign that's out or of a pothole on a Saturday instead of having to wait until Monday.
Understood. That's all I had.
Let's see, but that's in charge of that.
Olay.
What type of emergencies could we request, or what emergency conditions, I guess, would we?
Well, we already have a text alert system that we use through the actual, that folks register. That's more as to what Councilman Doug was mentioning, where we send information out or we blast information out to folks that are subscribers. So we already do that through that course. There would be a possibility for us to engage in that should there be a massive emergency or an evacuation. If we chose to do that, we could work with the vendor to see what it would take to send out information via text as well.
I think I'd also say to remind people that this isn't an avenue to call 911. Real emergencies need to remember to call 9. Don't text your emergency in somewhere in that thread of AI responses. It's probably already in there, but
The beauty of it is we get to fill in what the canned questions or responses or prompts would be. So the sample that I shared with you was something that Patty put together in about 5 to 7 minutes after we did the training. We'd be much more thorough.
And that can
as to what we
be
do.
edited and
Absolutely.
ongoing, kind of fluid as things are, okay.
Yep.
Do I hear a motion from anyone?
I actually like it. I think I wish there were more residents here that I could ask, but for those few that are here, would y'all use this? If you ran across some sort of an emergency that you wanted to report to the city and it was an odd hour just to do a text, would you?
If it was an emergency, I'll call this guy.
Well, but it's like if you noticed something that was going on, not necessarily a police emergency, but like you saw like when I was driving through there and the one-way sign was hanging. It was just, and it was like,
I would probably do that.
okay.
An example of how it could be used in that situation is, for example, if you were to see a water leak, you could report that there's a water leak, and in the routing, it would we would be able to say, please call WCID at this number, and we will follow up on it as well, basically. So it can also steer people in the direction. So if they think that it's the city that takes care of something, it also allows us to take that phone call, steer them in the right direction, but then also follow up on it. Another example that we were using was to report a street light that's out. Basically, if somebody comes and says, hey, there's a street light out on the corner of Kip and 7th Street. There's no street light there. Well, yeah, there are. There's a street light out there. Then we would be able to respond, here's the, please, we'd be able to give them the link that says, click here to report this to Centerpoint. And then we will also follow up on it afterwards. So it allows us to steer people. Sometimes they're looking to us for answers, and sometimes that, we can just steer them in the right direction.
I like it. I see so much stuff kind of like this that's just put out there on Facebook, and at least if you can say, hey, as long as it's communicated, you're gonna get a much faster
Exactly.
response. And because a lot of times people ask something, you see all these responses, and you go, yeah, that's not right, they're getting misinformation. So I think if you just kind of have everything streamlined and directed to the point that actually can help, I think I like this idea. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, beauty of it is if there's any type of question for follow-up, we'll have the person's cell phone number they texted from, and we can call and say, hey, Mrs. Smith, what was this taken care of properly? Or, hey, we have a question about what you reported.
Can you come up with protocol on how you guys will handle the calls and present that back to us?
Sure, absolutely.
Chief, do you like it?
I like it.
Okay.
They can reach out to us again. This might not be something that's emergency related. They might just want to be reporting something we might need to use. And it could be a great tool once we get it going.
Glad you said that, because we'll take it out of your budget.
Never mind.
You were like fired.
Disregard that last statement.
You backtracking?
Sticking the QR codes on your card.
There you go. Well, I'll make a motion to approve, and we can take $100 off it if we pay for it annually. I'll make a motion to approve.
Half a month.
Half a month.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 11E, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Kima, Texas, designating application for grant application submission and signatory rights for contractual documents pertaining to the 2025 City of Kima SB 224 Catalytic Converter Grant Program. And Lieutenant Ruiz is here to answer any questions you might have on this particular agenda item. Is there an amount for this? There was a range, I think.
There is a range, but currently what we have applied for is roughly a little over 66,000.
Did you say 66?
Yes, ma'am, 66.
Okay.
We would still fine tune the application based on approval tonight to proceed. One of the things that we're using this for is for flock camera access to expand our level of flock cameras to make sure that we have better coverage throughout the city.
So additional cameras above and beyond what we have at present? Okay.
Correct.
You have an idea where
Does
they're gonna go?
does that list include Kima Oaks?
I was gonna ask.
There will
Actually,
be-
yes, it does.
There will be a very lengthy list of places that we go after. The more support we get, the more cameras we will apply for. Remember, we apply for these, and if we say, hey, we want 10, they say, we have 4, we'll have a priority list as to where those would be.
Where's Kimo Oaks on that priority list?
I believe it's number 2.
Who's number 1?
I believe it was access to, was it 7?
6th Street. Sir.
6.
Isn't there one on 6th Street?
There's a better angle we need to capture. Without giving all of,
What are those costs when each? Like if you just go buy them?
it's a software that you have to pay on a monthly basis for them.
What's your in on a camera? What would be the city's out of pocket on a camera? Dustin, you remember that?
Do I remember what
The
an
last
out-of-pocket
ones
is?
we split with
45.
ESB.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The price is
remember the
approximately
price.
$4,500 per camera per year.
It'll be 2 on 6th Street now?
That's the idea,
So 9,000 a year in cameras for 6th Street?
roughly. Unless the priority order changes.
And what y'all are approving tonight is to allow them to go after these grants. That's
To
what's
apply for the
next.
grant.
Yeah, and I'm assuming no match. I'm
10%.
very rarely gonna
It's-
say no to
it's-
any.
It's
Oh,
10.
it's 10%?
It's 10%.
Okay. I was gonna say, if there's no match, I'm never gonna say no on you going after.
This one's not bad. This one's 10.
That's, okay.
I mean, I'm okay with voting for it. I just want Kimo Oaks. If 6th Street has to be on there, then we'll just put another $9,000 we're spending on 6th Street. But Kimo Oaks needs to be on there, honestly. That's,
We have no problem with that.
because I think Kimo Crossing already has one, don't you? Don't you have a camera?
We have one at each, we have several at each entrance.
So, I mean, besides them, that's the most populous part of town and they really.
Not a problem.
Where would the fourth one be?
We would not like to
Yeah,
share
they-
all the locations yet.
One at Chemo Oaks, two on Sixth.
Well, it was already one on 6th. This would be an additional one, but the idea is to not share the exact locations of them yet, if at all possible.
No, I want everybody to know there's 2 cameras on 6.
Why not? It's a deterrent.
Yep, no blind spots.
No. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve it.
So we have a motion
Purposes
by
to-
Councilman Isaac Saldana. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Doug Meisinger. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 11E carries unanimously. 11F, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-26, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Kema, Texas, authorizing the submission of a grant application and designating signatory rights for contractual documents pertaining to the U.S. Department of Transportation's fiscal year 25 Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program. And I believe this, Caesar can answer questions about this one, and I think this has to do with sidewalks.
It is sidewalks, Mayor. This is
and-
primarily for sidewalks throughout the city to be prioritized. A full study would need to be completed as to the priority and what the desires would be of the funding agency. This would be a preliminary application to see if we could do that. One of the things that I wanted to look at possibly doing, since we don't have set decision, was to make this be for a sidewalk plan. So we know exactly where we would need sidewalks. Unless there's already something in existence that we can formally follow, but some type of engineered plan that say, hey, we need sidewalks in locations A, B, and C, based on the growth of our city. This is primarily to allow safe access to parks, schools, your downtown areas. So I know there's been a lot of discussion about sidewalks throughout the boardwalk area, the connectivity, 6th and 7th Street. So this would allow for more walkability through the city.
KCDC did a
We did
engineering
a,
for the entertainment district.
Yeah, for that, we did a, actually Jacob, and it was to make Chemo, the downtown district more walkable, so we have that one. We
For-
did it
for
with,
that area.
what was the name of the company?
Did SWA do it? Or did the
SWA.
SWA do it?
Yeah.
Was that the one that went from 10th all the way?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a series of
The
sidewalks. actually.
the
So I would
deluxe,
look
the
at
deluxe
this.
double
Yeah.
wide, the double wide sidewalks, the deluxe
Yeah.
ones.
That's actually a really good plan that they have, and that's something I would use that.
Would that be the only district that we would like to concentrate on this
Well, I'm glad you said
application?
that, because I just had this conversation with the constituent that bothers me the most now, my wife. And she's, again, we're building that church on Lawrence. And I know that that's supposedly,
League City.
Lake City stuff, right? But I mean, there's about to be a lot of traffic on there because you got Dakota coming in and you got the church coming in. And there's no way for pedestrians to get up and down that street. So although I think that that's Lake City, they've promised it was part of a plan that they would do it. It hasn't happened. We really need to pursue that and pressure them to get that done. I don't know exactly how you do it because it's all open ditch. If I have to cover up one side to put a sidewalk in, or I mean, the logistics of it aren't going to be easy. It's probably why I haven't gotten done. It's on the very edge of their city limits, probably why I haven't gotten done, out of sight, out of mind. But it should be very important to us. And so whether we part of that as far as funding is part of this, or we're part of that as far as lobbying Lake City to do it, we need to be part of it. That's what I think. That's the only other part of town. I mean, besides the fact that we probably should have an ordinance that requires sidewalks in new developments. You know, if we would have had that before Dakota came in, and they could have done sidewalks down 96 on both sides, but we missed that mark. But a lot of cities have that. First city comes to mind that I have to do that in is Alvin. We go build, if I apply to build a new home in Alvin, I'm required to put a sidewalk in front of the house if it's rural, because Alvin has city limits that are rural, or not. I mean, so that, I mean, here it could be, you know, like South Kema or West Kema. You know, it's not always easy. But you could always excuse somebody to do it rather than you require most to do it. Just if it was an extenuating circumstances, you could excuse them from that. But everybody's unique in this town. It's not, it isn't a master plan community. But I would say that I would certainly pursue Lawrence and an ordinance. that
And
requires it.
Caesar, the amount is huge here, and what would you be going after, just as much as you could?
I would like to get the appetite of what we'd like to focus on. It sounds to me like the downtown district and Lawrence are the top priorities right now, unless there's other
96.
areas.
I don't know how you would do it, but 96 would actually be nice. I
mean-
mean, go down in front of all the new development's gonna go out and go connect from like Lawrence to
Loopy
Meritage.
Tortillas.
Yeah,
I
that
think,
would really be safe.
thought
I
they
think
had
the
already
study should help
done
us
a lot of
determine
that.
where we need the sidewalks the most. I mean, the entertainment, I think the study, if we are successful in getting the grant, I think we should really study walkability across town. I mean, I don't think there's a side of town that doesn't have a walkability problem for residents or visitors if you're in the entertainment district. I mean, I don't think we should put a road in or repair a road without putting a sidewalk on it personally, but, but a lot of this work I think is already done from the SWA study that was done, so I
But
think.
that is down, that's like you said, that's from
It
10.
Yeah, it goes from 10th all the way
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
I
But
think.
if you did that, if you actually took care of that, you would actually make a lot of Kima walkable. It would be walkable from like Meritage all the way to the boardwalk,
Could.
basically.
Yeah, but you don't have a sidewalk alongside 57 Acre Park.
But that's coming in then.
Yes.
That's already a done deal. We've already voted on that.
Yeah, you could walk from Loopy's down 146.
Thank you, Ronnie.
I mean, you could walk all the way from there if,
When they finish
Yeah.
the sidewalk, you
Yeah.
could.
yeah.
So yeah, 96, just me, 96 from Lawrence to Loopy's. Lawrence from 518 to 96. Downtown district, which the study's already been done. I can't think of anything else.
Sounds good.
I don't know where else you would put sidewalks, honestly. I mean,
And
South Kima,
South Kima is going to be a little
there's
bit
no
more
sidewalks there,
challenging.
but I mean, everywhere is gonna be challenging, everywhere.
Well, no, I mean, it's going to be the most challenging there because of your drainage. You would have to probably go into covered drainage to gain enough
No, you're gonna do that
access to
anywhere.
it. Right.
You're gonna do that in Lawrence. You're gonna do that in South Kima.
Hmm.
When we did the 2019 flood management study, South Kima was actually a big part of that, which you never tackled, but they have a big drainage problem over there because culverts aren't set to any certain grade. And the idea was that eventually we would have a program to replace all that, but that's all part of the bigger plan. If you want to put sidewalks in, those are all the things you have to achieve to do that. It's expensive.
Agreed.
Probably why those numbers are high. What League City did on the other side of 96 is actually really nice. They put sidewalks all the way down.
Yes, it did.
Wait a
And
minute,
it's super
Leeds,
nice.
oh, on the other side.
And that
yeah.
may or may not have been a part of that grant program. Ronnie, was that, no? We have a part of that on front of Chili's and,
Part of the grant program, I don't know what that was, maybe they did that as
Yeah.
part of the development.
it's actually beautiful. I mean, they went and did landscaping
We
and stuff.
applied
It's
for a
nice.
grant 2 years ago, it was League City, Kima, Clear Lake Shores,
Mhm.
the sidewalk from like Creek High School all the way down 146. We didn't get the grant, but I've been told by League City that they're gonna go ahead and put sidewalks in their capital improvement plan to run all the way from, the Clear Creek High School down to the end of League City on that, 2094. But that's gonna end at, where it gets to Clear Lake Shores, I guess. But we can encourage League City to consider that church is going, so that's in League City, to add that, they have a big capital improvement plan.
They should, that's actually a good point. I mean, they need to be approached by that. Now, if they happen to do that, if I remember out in that grant program, our portion of that grant program was very small. We only had from like in front of, where
Yeah.
Taco Cabana was to the corner. That was the only thing that was scheme. Everything else was Clear Lake Shores from
Yeah.
in front of Chili's all the way to 2094. So that'd be Clear Lake Shores. We'd be just in front of that. So it's really not a lot. South Kima is very difficult, but there's also, I wouldn't say there's a whole bunch of traffic in South Kima. Only in Miller and 7th and 6th. Fifth. No. The other one,
Miller, 6th.
6th and 7th.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Do you know any of those streets?
I do.
Okay.
Not at the corner of 96 and South Shore.
Again, this
No.
is approving a resolution to allow Caesar to go after the grant.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana.
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Dustin Oliver. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. 11G, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-27, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Kima, Texas, designating application for grant application submission and signatory for contractual documents pertaining to the Texas General Land Office Coastal Management Program, Grant Cycle 30, Gulf of Mexico Energy Security Act Fund.
This grant opportunity was announced before the name change of the Gulf of Mexico, which, so that's why it is GOMESA. That is the name that's been given, GOMESA. That is the name that they've decided to stick with, and they told us to make sure we stick with that so there's no confusion. But this is the funding agency that allows us to, we've had a lot of discussion with them. It is now time to put our application together. This would be to go after some of the remaining funds necessary to finish 57-acre park. This would be a no-cost grant, so no match necessary. We would qualify under a project of special merit, and depending on the funding cycle, we'd get a pretty good majority of the park done. They've asked us to, because of the budget cuts that have occurred, instead of trying to go for the entire amount, to maybe tone that down a little bit. So we're going to fine tune which phases would make the most sense for us to attack as part of this application.
4 through 9.
As long as which ones would apply and coincide with what the criteria is. So for example, in 9, I believe 8 or 9 is the bird watching tower. That would not qualify, but the sidewalks leading to it would. The trees tied to it would. Any of the landscaping would.
Can it be retroactive to things we've already spent money on?
No.
I mean, really, we've already done 1 through 3, right?
Unfortunately, no.
Sidewalk.
I've asked that, which is why I wanted to put this application in to include the sidewalk project that we're including as part of it.
Doug, it's 0 in. What do you think?
0 in?
Yeah.
Oh, 100% for it.
So is that a motion?
We'll make it a motion. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-27.
Do we have a second? We have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Isaac Saldana. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11H, consideration and possible action or possible approval of the K-9 donation agreement for the Kemah Police Department. And this is for the K-9 unit, and Chief Garabay can speak to any of your questions.
Seeking approval to go ahead and get this dog that's been donated to the police department, $21,000 dog. The foundation's out of Pennsylvania. Contract, very small. Not asking much other than if we don't decide to get rid of the dog, we don't let the dog go with the handler, whatever it may be. We actually have to return it back to the foundation so they could give it to another police department. We agree to take care of the dog, make sure the dog's not housed in a kennel full-time. The canine handler that we selected, Officer Barlow, is actually relocating to Kemah. He is all in, wanting to do this thing for the community. So that won't be a problem. So we just need your approval to move forward.
Do we have a vehicle for the,
We currently have a vehicle now. We had a canine vehicle already.
using the same one, or are we just taking the cage out?
Same one. It never got changed out, just a few components that we're gonna have to switch out in it to get it back, not switched out, but corrected, fixed, which is the door switch mechanism that the officer carries on his gun belt, that if he's in need, he can just pop the switch, opens the door, and the dog takes off running to do his thing. So those are things that Caesar said he could help us find, and we'll get that going. The main thing is not passing up this dog. I've worked hard to get a few foundations to donate, and we finally got one that's ready to go. He should be ready by mid-June to be picked up. He's being cross-trained. He's now patrol trained, which basically is biting and tracking. They're actually going to run him through narcotic training, and he should be ready to go for us to pick up in El Paso.
Does the handler have to go through any training with him?
Yes. So once he's here, he'll have to go 3 months through an academy here at Harris County where he gets familiar with the dog, and then he'll be training monthly with League City PD in the area.
What are some costs associated with owning the dog?
You've got you've got the vet fees when we need to have vet fees. There's going to be some equipment that comes with it. Overtime for the handler, which we have to give him a couple hours of overtime a day to take care of the dog, feed the dog, maintain the dog. The food, obviously, we have to keep food for him. There's a stipend, I guess. It's the overtime for the dog, for the handler. It has to be included. it's mandated state law that we give him at least 2 hours of overtime a day for him to be the canine handler. Obviously, if he gets called out by other agencies, we do plan to assist. We're the only canine in this area that's probably going to be dual purpose. We have drug dogs in the area. We'd have to call League City at this time to get one. He will be on night shift. That's where we agreed to put him, was on night shift when we need him. On occasions, he'll be here on day shift. Again, boarding him is part of it. We put something together in the budget that you'll see in the next upcoming budget to maintain him. But the main fact is that $21,000 that we're not having to spend to get him is definitely a start.
Well, it's needed. We know exactly where a drug dog is needed in this town, and great job on doing this. We discussed this in your interview.
Yes, sir.
This was something that we tasked you with when you interviewed this job, if you were to get it. So I'm very happy to see that you were able to make this happen. Nobody else has anything. I have a very enthusiastic approval motion for the K-9 donation agreement with the Kima Police Department.
So we have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger and a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion also carries unanimously.
Great job.
We do not have an executive session tonight, and if anyone doesn't have anything else today to say, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:05 PM.
Do you want to get a picture of those of us that are here with, did we do that already?
We did that already.
We did, okay. I take so many pictures, I can't remember.
You can take it.
And it is online.
Yes, ma'am.
You can always go back and check it there.
Criticize myself.
Signed it.